All right, welcome back. I wasn't sure if I should go with back or something else, but I lost the timing, so I went with what I did. WeArEuS, and this is Kotama. Academy Citadel, right? Now, typically, if there is an intro or a game, and it is unvoiced, I do my best to voice it. However, the lines themselves were not given the adequate time on screen for me to fully read them. I even went back to the main menu, started another new game in order to try and read it, because the later lines slow down or last longer on screen. So I figured maybe I could go ahead and try. No, it doesn't work, because the very first line vanishes way too quickly. Now that's likely because the game itself was written in Japanese and all of the characters would be on screen and they'd be read pretty quickly. Probably by the time it actually disappears. That timing doesn't really work in English, and they didn't adjust for that, which is unfortunate. But there's nothing I can do about that. Hopefully there won't be too many more like that. Nevertheless, I welcome you to the anime Metroidvania, full of anime girls doing Metroidvania things. I've been looking forward to this since I knew it existed. It released so very long ago, but I couldn't play it because my computer is, well, my computer would be envious of being a toaster. Let's put it like that. Be that as it may, thankfully it ended up on GeForce Now. Speaking of which, I checked, and Crimson Desert is coming out next month. Do you know what else is coming out next month? Monster Hunter Stories 3. Do you know when they both come out? If you don't, they come out the same week. Typically, I avoid Monster Hunter Stories and Monster Hunter proper just because I, one, don't want to give Capcom money. If you know anything about Capcom's practices and behind the scenes philosophy, you understand. If not, I'm not going to waste my time explaining it to you because you don't really care. That being said, Monster Hunter Stories 3 looks to be a good time. And it has turn-based combat, which I love. That said, it's attached to Capcom, so... And then I saw Crimson Desert, and it's rough. I mean, March is going to be good eating for people who don't care about Capcom other than what new thing they made, but I've already gone on far too long for this intro, so let's get into it properly.
Only those who really shine during the election campaign get to become the Caramel Star.
And of course, this is assuming you guys actually read the intro that I was unable to narrate, as I explained all those years ago.
Guided by starlight, Kotama, you arrived at the Academy Citadel. Hello, Miss Kotama. Are you dozing off? Guy? You were explaining how to join the Caramel Star election. Yeah, just try to stay awake next time. I'll do my best. Great, that's the attitude. Okay, enough with the intro. Let's head to the registration office or we'll miss the deadline. You seem half asleep. Here, take this luminite to get yourself refreshed.
Luminite, a pure crystal formed from condensed chronofluid. Kotama can consume luminite to restore her chrono shell, and it also serves as currency for transactions with students. The chrono shell is an energy shield woven from chronofluid, protecting Kotama from harm. Hold B to consume luminite to restore the chrono shell. The life jade is Kotama's life core. When Kotama takes damage with her chrono shell depleted, it will consume life jades. If all life jades are exhausted, she dies. By the way, in case you can't see it, her chrono shell also forms her clothes. When you take damage, so do her clothes. Right, I cannot use the analog stick for this game. Unless I press the... Oh, that's actually AIDS. So I have a generic PlayStation controller that for some weird reason has the Xbox buttons on it, but I digress. And it has a function that allows... That's so stupid. And it has a function on it that allows you to basically... what was I saying? Right. Let you switch the function of the D-pad and the left analog stick. We need to make it to the registration desk before... What is that? 9:30? Jumping higher isn't going to get me up there. Not until later. Anyway, it switches the function of the D-pad and the left analog stick. So, while I can only actually play this with the... I'm supposed to only play it with the D-pad. I can swap to the analog stick if I need to. Right, so... Now we have our weapon.
As I suspected, Miss Kotama, you have a knack for controlling chronofluid. A knack? This umbrella spear is actually a weapon powered by chronofluid. It's a dangerous device that needs a lot of training to handle properly. Sounds pretty serious. Should I put it back? No worries, just be careful with it. Let's practice handling it first.
The umbrella spear, a balanced weapon wielded by disciplinary supervisors, suitable for both offense and defense. Press X repeatedly to perform basic attacks, coating enemies with fluid. Keep your mind out of the gutter. Or don't, I wouldn't blame you. When an enemy is coated with fluid and shows a purple outline, press Y to trigger a fluid detonation, dealing damage while restoring Kotama's chrono shell. In addition, defeating an enemy coated with fluid also restores a small amount of chrono shell. In addition, you can hold LB while in the air to remain airborne for a short period. That's how we get that. And this, sure, using the analog stick. There we go. She does not have an up attack. Or a down attack. Got it. At least not yet. Great. So we are fresh off the heels of playing Neo, Memories in Orbit. And with that game, you could move the camera around a limited space with the right analog stick. I just tried to do that a moment ago, and I feel silly. Thanks for listening. When the target displays a purple outline, press Y to trigger a fluid detonation. Well, now I'm upset. I don't know for certain if I can actually get... I don't know if I could have gotten over to that other platform anyway, so... Press... When an enemy flashes yellow, press the left shoulder button to deflect and interrupt their attack. A successful parry will coat the target with a large amount of fluid.
Are you alright, Kotama?
It is difficult to switch between those two. Weird. So, I'm moving around with the D-pad, but for some reason I can't interact unless I press up on the analog stick. This is concerning, in an annoying way.
Sleeping in such a weird pose, huh? There's a notebook next to it. Seems to be an observation record of this cat. Looks like it always starts snoozing right at 5:55 in the afternoon.
So I have played this up until the next room, I think. And that'll be relevant because I tried to move the camera around. God, Neo was so goddamn good. If you didn't watch that playthrough, I'll put a playlist for it at the end of the video. It is such a good game. Anyway, let's try and focus and not move the camera around with the left analog stick, shall we? I'm still trying to move the camera, and I hate that I'm doing that.
Hold on a second, Miss Kotama. You're out of temporal coils. Are you feeling anything unusual now? I see some strange rifts around us. Exactly. This is temporal stasis caused by an overflow of chronofluid. Picture a regular space-time like a movie reel. Right now, this Academy Citadel looks like a reel torn to shreds by time stasis. Anything caught in it, be it living beings or machines, becomes extremely dangerous. How can I prevent time from freezing? That's where temporal coils come in. This stuff, developed by the Student Council, mends fractured space-time, but they deplete in the process. This device next to us is a rewind station. Feel free to use it to restock your temporal coils. As for its other features, try exploring them firsthand.
I don't know why I loved firsthand there. That's just silly. Venturing into unexplored rooms consumes temporal coils and advances the timeline. Once all temporal coils are spent, the Citadel enters a state of temporal stasis. As the timeline advances, the status of both students and enemies will change. As temporal coils are consumed, time gradually progresses. This alters the behavior and dialogue of the students. If conversations cannot be advanced, consider replenishing temporal coils to return to an earlier point in time and try again. Prolonged exposure to a chronofluid-saturated environment will cause erosion. Time progresses as temporal coils are consumed. Consequently, the enemies will grow stronger with the deepening erosion, though the rewards for defeating them will also increase. By the way, speaking of the enemies becoming tougher, I'm playing on the current hardest difficulty. I don't remember what the name of it is, but I know the next and final difficulty is called reality. We're going to die a lot, is my point. A rewind station fully heals Kotama and saves your current status and game progress. I really wish they would have a separate tooltip spawn or appear for this particular difficulty, because I don't think that's true. For this particular difficulty, all of our rewind stations, if I'm remembering properly, it might be something else, but I'm pretty sure it's these. These don't restore something, and I'm pretty sure it's her shield? It's something that's important, and I don't remember what. I could go back to the main menu since I'm pretty sure this functions as a save point, and then I could check it, but it doesn't really matter. We'll find out the hardest way, I guess you could say. When you use a rewind station, or rewinded one, your game progress is immediately saved. The progress at the last checkpoint will be cleared, and most enemies within Academy Citadel will respawn. If respawn came out a little weird, that's because I was yawning and trying to suppress it.
This booth is temporarily closed due to unforeseen circumstances. My apologies. My apologies for the inconvenience. I suggest following your guide to explore other open attractions for now. If you have urgent business, you can find me in the warehouse. This section...
Oh, that's from the girls in the background. Stop that. Okay, so I haven't been past here. And he's out of here.
You're not worthy of being anyone.
It's interesting how the guy said it looks like you have someone troublesome on your tail, when in fact, he is ahead of us. Therefore, he has someone troublesome on his tail. Who are you?
Kotama, meet Chizuru, the Secretary General of the Student Council. She's in charge of everything related to the Caramel Star election. Welcome to the registration office. You must be Kotama, I assume. You know me? Yes, I've heard all about you from the president. She's pretty intrigued. An exchange student like you is a rare find. If I'm not mistaken, you're here to sign up for the Caramel Star election, right? Yeah, that's why I'm...
Maybe I should go get a cup of water.
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
I'm going to go get some water.
Well, about the election, we are currently facing some complications. You've run into those fish heads already, right, Kotama? Like those fish heads up there? Yeah, those fish head students, banding together as the fish head gang. They're causing trouble by rigging votes, intimidating candidates, and messing with our systems. For everyone's safety, I had to close candidate registration early.
Well, I mean, I would have to assume that the second option either ends the game or does nothing, like that one option in... What was that game? I remember the game, but not its name. It was a Square Enix thing. I can't remember. Anyway. Obviously, we're going to deal with them.
Leave those fish heads to me. Are you sure about this? They can be quite tricky. No worries. If this drags on, I won't be able to join the election. I see. Please take this student terminal.
Student terminal features a map and a database, assisting students in locating themselves and automatically recording encountered events. It also symbolizes Caramel students' identity.
It proves your status as a Caramel Star candidate. You can also check it for maps and information whenever you need. Plus, it keeps track of your current votes automatically. My votes? Yes, every student can vote for their favorite Caramel Star candidate. Your vote percentage shows how many votes you secured compared to the total. Speaking of which, if you manage to stop those fish-headed troublemakers in the Central District...
I don't know why that keeps happening.
If you manage to stop those fish-headed troublemakers in the Central District, I can share some of my votes with you. What should I do? Disable the 2 dangerous chronofluid devices they planted in the Central District. I'll mark their locations on your terminal map. They've tampered with a number of service robots, so be cautious when you run into them. Oh, and I almost forgot. Here, an enrollment gift from the president. Please, try it on. Glasses? They look great on you. Please, be careful out there.
Oh, so... Okay, so I can't zoom in, which sucks. Do have... Okay, we have upwards of 50 custom markers we can place. Did that again. Nice. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to mark this with. I'll just go with this then. So we've got these 2. We don't know what to do with yet. I remember this one because I thought it was a spot on the floor that would deal damage or something, but apparently it was just a seal or something. I don't know if it's breakable or anything yet. I would try to go back to the cat, but I am pretty sure that I can't get up to it. So, we have no choice but to move forward. Or down, if we can make that happen. Nope, we can't, because apparently... yeah, we can't crawl. I'm trying to move the camera again. Updated election protesters. A group of students shoved flyers into my hands. The text read, "Join us in opposing the Carmel Star election." They went on to explain how the competition had disrupted their lives, from adapting to new school regulations to the lack of engagement felt by general course students. They even encouraged me to join their protest. But the moment I revealed that I was also a candidate, their demeanor shifted and they left in displeasure. Sucks to suck. It is going to take some time for me to get over not being able to move my camera anymore. And that saddens me. Okay, I get it. Door's too good for me. I don't like that. I disagree with that. Oh, also in the menu, you can, I don't know if it's, yeah, you can also see our damaged clothes here. Why do you need to know that? You don't. This was for me. I just made you an accomplice. Interesting. Ah, another one is up there. You know what's actually really sad? Oh. Interesting. This is School Regulations Part 3. We'll start with 1. No student shall exceed the daily caloric and nutritional intake limits set by the principal. During the Carmel Star election, all students must cast a vote. Abstention is prohibited. Any student seeking entry to the principal's office must obtain prior approval from all 4 administrators. Damaging any public property is strictly forbidden. I'm sure we can come to an understanding about all of the vandalism I've been doing up until now. Anyway, visitor violators will be assigned 1 week of mandatory community service. Students must strictly follow the course schedule by the principal and are not permitted to enroll in additional electives. Freedom is not an option. Students must carry their personal terminals at all times and are prohibited from lending or exchanging. Any encounter with a student not registered in the terminal database must be reported immediately to disciplinary supervisors. Ooh, nice. Rule number 94. Students are strictly prohibited from viewing any films not available in the official media library. All students must enter hibernation pods monthly for short-term academic progress evaluation. That one made me smile with worry. Any abnormal phenomena observed within the campus must be reported immediately to the student council, and students must evacuate the area promptly. Experiments involving chronofluid require prior application to the student council. Research may only commence after formal approval. It is forbidden to privately retain any objects found near the door. No student may leave the campus without authorization before graduation. All intellectual property, inventions, and research achievements developed by students during their enrollment automatically become the property of Carmel upon graduation. Is this academy run by Blizzard? Because it sounds like it. Smart trash can. But at least we know now that we can, in fact, block projectiles. Picnic by the roadside. Have you noticed those strange doors around the campus? They're said to be anomalous spaces created during the experiments, each one connected to another world. But we haven't found a way to open them. They're fused in place, immovable. Some say they're alien portals, since the gravity near them always acts strange. The student kept telling me all sorts of unsolved mysteries about Carmel, urging me to stay alert to any unusual phenomena around campus. Ah, slightly damaged checkpoint. That's the thing. Oh good, they do have the alternate version for this particular difficulty. So, normally, this would just be a normal checkpoint. For this difficulty, however, this checkpoint is slightly damaged. It allows me to save my current status and progress, but it cannot heal. Note, if you choose to rewind at a checkpoint after being knocked out, you will revert to the last saved progress. Items and abilities acquired from your unsaved progress will be reset. And I'm assuming that applies to just any checkpoint and not specifically the slightly damaged one we will be subjected to during our playthrough. We're a little low on, well, not really, but we have to be very careful about getting hit. That trash can, the projectile from that trash can that hit us earlier, that could have two-shot us. So life is going to be pretty rough for a while. Yeah, so I can interrupt my actions. Temporalis. Special crystals used for Kotama's enhancement, unlocking her additional skills. An astronomer's journal. While observing that distant planet, I noted that both its revolution and rotation appear abnormally slow, nearly approaching a state of complete stasis. At first, I suspected a gravitational time dilation effect, but subsequent astronomical surveys revealed no nearby black holes or massive celestial bodies. Thus, I hypothesized that this phenomenon may be caused by the planet itself. Right, that's the way that works. I don't know why they have interact on the analog stick. It is a weird choice. And now we have dash. Press right trigger to slide on the ground or perform an aerial dash. Okay, so while you're on the ground normally, it's a defensive dash. And it can interrupt your animations, which is interesting. So if you use it with the first basic attack, you can actually interrupt it, but it's not an actual interruption. The basic attack itself still carries through, but you move away. As for everything else, though, it interrupts them. Very interesting. And I can't charge that in midair, which is fine. Right, so people, I guess, were having a hard time with the platforming, and since I haven't done any, I can't really comment on whether they lack skill or not, but ultimately they chose to implement this, which basically you don't need to worry about. It's not on. It doesn't matter to me. What just happened here? Well, if you guys don't have anything to say about this, I'll just go ahead and use it. Life Jade Shard. Collecting 3 shards increases the maximum capacity of Kotama's Life Jade, which is the little blue thing up there that's probably pretty hard to see. It would be nice to have at least one more of those. I want to go ahead and unlock that checkpoint. Since I haven't died yet, there won't be any enemies in the way. Okay. So if I hold forward, I can make her go forward with the dash. apparently interacting with the thing that gave me the life jade shard healed us or restored our chrono shell. I don't think this works. I will say, I do like the little after image that gets left behind if you interrupt the dash. But yeah, it actually does. So, ta-da! So, apparently, dashing carries you along no matter if you pass over a ledge or something. You don't just drop down, which is what I was expecting to be the case. Instead, you just carry along like gravity isn't a thing. That's all I wanted. Let me check something. Game. Yeah, it's off. Okay. Okay, so we need to go under here, but first, let's pick up the temporal coils, right? Tried to move the camera again. It's a habit. God, that game was so good. And just being able to move the camera as you like, even though it wasn't a significant amount, it felt good. It felt real good. Memo cards. I've picked up many identical looking little objects. The guy told me they're called memo cards. Students use them to record moments of their lives. You need a special device to see what's stored inside. But what puzzles me is, why are so many of them scattered on the ground? The guide explained that students assign value to these cards based on their content. The ones lying everywhere are those nobody wants. They look the same on the outside, but what's inside makes all the difference. That seemed to be what the guide wanted to convey. I'm going to figure out how you work, eventually. For now, though, no. What do you mean there's breakable walls in this game? No, you can't do that. No, I'm going to be paranoid about every single wall now. Wait, then what's above us? Student Bobo, part of the Architecture Academy. Violation details? The student created a four-layer dream sequence within a memo card, causing another student who drew it to become trapped in the dream and unable to wake autonomously. disciplinary outcome was, in light of the student's prior clean record and full cooperation with the student council in awakening the affected student, a mitigated penalty was applied. Thus, Bobo was assigned to assist the publicity club in producing 1,000 memo cards for the celebration. Then we have multiple students, part of the Biology Academy. After consuming untested mushrooms, the students became disoriented, disrupted campus order, and attempted to mix the mushrooms into cafeteria ingredients. The situation was contained thanks to the timely intervention of disciplinary supervisors. Considering the impaired mental state of the students during the incident and their sincere remorse, a mitigated penalty was imposed. Thus, they were to repair damaged public property and also 1 month of mandatory community service. Not too bad, I guess. Tried to move the camera again. I really don't like that little hop she does when she clambers onto something, because I'm looking for being able to move immediately, and instead you're halted until the animation puts you back on the... Why are the... So she asked Guide why the students were wearing fish heads. He said it's probably because of some quirky belief. Just don't copy them. I thought you would, rat bastard. What do you mean? Yeah, I thought so. No way on earth. Okay. I don't like that I can't see what's going on underneath me. So... Wait, don't I have... Ah, so I consume... Okay, that's not too bad. It costs... It said 27, which doesn't make sense. You would think if I have a chrono shelf with a value of 30, let's say a health of 30, it would pull 29, but it only pulled 27, I think. It might have been 29 and it looked like a 7. Setting. Yeah, so it did pull 30. another list of disciplinary actions. This one's for Haru of the Art Academy. The student concealed a large quantity of strictly prohibited films and organized unauthorized private film screenings, subsequently requiring each attending student to submit a 10,000-word reflection essay. And as a result, due to repeated and severe violations of school regulations, the student was expelled. Play retarded games, win retarded prizes. Then we have Annie of the Aerospace Academy. The student lost control of an illegally modified hoverboard during an anti-gravity skate race, injuring several others. As a result, the student has been permanently banned from all competitions in this event. However, in consideration of the technical skill demonstrated in the modifications, the Academy has decided against expulsion and instead transferred the student to the Cruiser Development Department. Failing upwards. Nice. I have to remember walls aren't real. Walls are just a suggestion in this game. Whoa, don't be like that. Okay. Sort of messed my hand up earlier. Feels pretty bad, man. Like I said, walls are just a suggestion. What the actual... That was not me. I was literally pressing the other button. There we go. Seen everything. Oh, right, there's that robot down there. That wall might be breakable? This obviously leads to our objective. How do you like it? That little fricking hop, I hate it. You have no control over her while that's happening. So any minor adjustments you'd be able to make that would put her back on the platform if you overshot it, you can't do, because you're stuck in a fixed animation. That's going to annoy me in the future, and I can tell already. But now we have the Central District map. So we see all the things. That's kind of useful. Uh-oh. I disagree with that. I freaking... That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, sure, why not? Ah. Is that how it is? Screw that. What the fricker? Oh, this is a problem. Solved. I can't dash through enemies. And I apparently can't block that at point blank range. This annoys me. I don't think I can go back that way anyway. The only thing I wish that was possible was for it to be to be able to actually interrupt your combo with a smooth, heavy attack, which is what I'm going to refer to that as from now on. Whereas currently it's you literally just only have the light, and then you have to wait until that animation is done. You can't even interrupt it like you can. Unless... No, even then it feels terrible. Yeah, that is awful. So you can dash through them, you just have to do it properly. God dang it. That's kind of weird. Huh. I actually can't dash through this thing. Oh, crap. I forgot that would be a thing. Dang it, that means we just lost 1100. When Kotama dies, her residual chronofluid will form a reset point at the location of death, detonating it to restore the chrono shell and the life jade. Oh, but your luminite will not be dropped upon death. Okay. I mean, I know the timing for that first one was off. That was definitely me, but... Good news, I haven't thought about moving the camera. What? I pressed the button. Goodness. Ah, great. I don't need this. Okay, so those little bulbs are extra temporal, whatchamacallits? Temporal coils. Okay, I'm at least starting to get the hang of combat. But not that part. Not yet. That's where it wants me to go, but... Can't do anything about that right now. Stop that. Okay. You don't need those, do you? Should have gotten hit there. I'm glad I wasn't.
Could you hit...
Got a sip of water coming right up.
Could you hit that emergency?
Nope, it's just not going to work.
Could you hit that emergency release up there?
Really? I hate them.
I can't reach it myself. Whew, you're a lifesaver. If you hadn't shown up, I would have spent the entire Centennial celebration trapped here.
I don't know what's going on with my voice, but it hates this. And that upsets me.
How should I call you?
Really? I couldn't even say call.
How should I call you, kind stranger? Fluffy tail, or
what about her tail is fluffy?
Or maybe little eggplant? Name's Kotama. Thanks for that. Thanks for the help. And little.
Nothing about this is going right. But I'm trying my best, and I'll power through it.
Thanks for the help, little eggplant. If I could, I'd totally give you the credits to repay you for saving me, but I poured all my savings into the celebration, so now if that broke. Actually, if you visit my shop, I'll waive the credit fee. Just bring me some Luminitis crafting material.
Receive the students' votes for the first time.
Alright. We did it. Yeah.
I really do wish that that dash was limited specifically to just how long. Hold on. Sharknado, the selfish follower. The unpredictable future. A student named Saya excitedly showed me a device. She explained that it was a radio capable of showing everyone's future. She claimed this invention could change the world and that I'd have the honor of being its first tester. However, no matter how many times she recalibrated it, the device failed to display anything related to the future. Disappointed, she declared it another failed invention, and tossed it aside. Though the outcome disheartened her, I had a faint feeling the problem might not lie with the device. But brain damage. Could we... Well, I tried everything. Detonation points. Detonating an enemy coated with fluid breaches their detonation points. Once all of an enemy's detonation points are breached, they will stagger briefly, providing you with a prime opportunity to attack. So that's what those little markers were. Okay. How do you like it? I disagree. What? Okay. Much better. Not great, but better. Forgot I could dash. I can't really go anywhere else. So what do we get this time? Double jump. Ah, a classic. In Mio, I'm probably going to reference that quite a few times during our playthrough for this. With Mio, you had the double jump at the very beginning, which I actually found to be a fascinating and refreshing change of pace because, like, double jump is such a common thing for getting extra height. So, having that be a baseline thing you could do was great. I love that. But if you haven't actually seen the playthrough, I don't want to spoil what the real business was that could get you to higher places that you couldn't double jump to, or otherwise platform with assistance from the environments. Again, that game is really good. And the music, so good. What are we looking at? Security Chief's Diary. If they hadn't offered me a reward, I simply couldn't If they hadn't offered me a reward I simply couldn't refuse, I would never have taken on this deadly assignment. Before this, my most bragged about feat was single-handedly subduing 5 armed militants, an operation that remained the most illustrious moment of my career. I always used to say, if it's human, there's always a way to deal with it. But who would have thought that one day I'd be dealing with alien organisms? That day I saw one of those extraterrestrial creatures mimic a human form. The resemblance was flawless. Who knows if any of the scientists working closely with them might one day have been replaced. Gotta remember the walls aren't real. In this land, they are but a suggestion. Was there anywhere else we needed to go that the double jump would be useful? Let's check the map. We could go over here. But what I actually want to do? Oh, for some reason we have a cutscene.
Welcome back, Miss Kotama. Thanks to you, those fish-headed troublemakers have stopped causing trouble. The election should run smoothly now. I'll verify your candidate status right away. This is weird. What's up? Your information won't register in the candidate system. This has never happened before. So I can't join the election? No worries. I'll give you a provisional candidate status for now so you can join in as usual. But if this registration issue doesn't get fixed, you may end up getting disqualified from the Carmel Star election, and any votes you get won't count. What should I do then? I'm afraid only the principal, the top authority for this system, can fix this issue. According to regulations, you'll need to collect keepsakes from all 4 administrators to get into the principal's office. But they're all caught up in the election right now. Got it. So I'll get those keepsakes, meet the principal, and gather votes along the way. Good to know you've grasped the situation. Every time you secure a keepsake, feel free to hand it over to me for safekeeping. Once you've collected them all, I'll unlock the passage to the principal's office for you. And if you're not sure where to start, the Art Academy might be a good bet. However, the entrance to the Art Academy is blocked by those fish-headed students right now. I'm sorry for not being much help. Please, take these votes as an apology.
Surely those are extra votes, and not just the ones you owed me initially, right? Surely I'm getting extra for you also being useless on top of the ones you promised me earlier. Because you wouldn't cheat me now, would you?
She did. Of course she did.
Oh, Saya's up here now.
Hey, have you seen a starving cat around? It must have slipped out from the Biology Academy. If you spot it somewhere, feel free to feed it with this. But be careful. Don't let the disciplinary supervisors catch you.
Cat food. It's cat food. So, let's see what we can do. I'm also going to make sure that I have at least 1,000 luminite. That's what it's called. At least 1,000 luminite on me at all times, because I make mistakes. Alright. Also, enemies hit really hard. Like, it's a rough time. Getting a Chrono Shell 2-shot, that feels awful. Though, it would help if I stopped messing up my parry. See, you can just hold the parry as a generic block, and it'll do its thing so long as it isn't a yellow flash attack. But if it is a yellow flash attack, timing is important, and you actually have to parry rather than just block. I wish I had the hang of that, but I don't quite yet. So here we have Chrono Petal, a petal possessing unique power. Collecting 3 increases the maximum capacity of Kotama's Chrono Shell. I do like that. A mysterious sealed item that increases the maximum capacity of temporal coils. I'm still not solid on the temporal coil situation. I understand it. Every time I go through a room, time advances. Obvious. Why that matters currently, aside from the cat that I'm going to go visit before I end this video, I don't know. But we'll see. Then we have a temporal oven. Marks unexplored map rooms on the map. Why wouldn't I just get this? Science Dream Log. She envisioned creating a temporal oven to transmit information across different timelines of parallel universes, but her clumsiness led to chaos across the multiverse. Used to expand memo card slots. I need that. I can't use memo cards or equip them yet, but I will. Right now, we haven't found Nito or Nita, so we can't do whatever he or she is responsible for. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a girl. I don't know why, I just have a sneaking suspicion about that. Artificial gem. Special gems crafted artificially that are used to enhance Kotama's weapons. I want it, but I can't afford it right now. And then we have more temporalis and a solar system travel guide. Okay. More cat food. And that'll be the limits of my willingness to purchase. Come get it. That is, of course, because I was turned around. I forgot I had the double jump. Sir.
Why is it rubbing its head against me?
I don't remember his voice.
That's its way of communication. Well, what does it mean? Maybe something like, I could really go for some cat food right now. I see. Citadel regulations strictly prohibit students from feeding animals without permission.
We got permission from Saya. And Guide is not from the disciplinary committee or disciplinary supervisors.
Here.
Okay. After finishing the cat food, it purrs contentedly.
Looks like it's taken a liking to you. Now you must step up and be its designated human.
Why Why couldn't it be a dog? Okay, we'll do a little bit more exploring, but I really should be ending this video. Oh, okay. Fine, you first. Okay. Ooh, I almost missed it. I have to remember. Oh, I can't dash twice in the air. Got it. It was worth a try. What are you doing down here? I have to get into the habit of DPSing them when I down them with the... Well, I don't remember what they called it. Breakpoint? Yeah, I have to get into the habit of break. Why are enemies in a different place from where they were last time? Cat's missing. as I was saying, I have to get into the habit of DPSing enemies when I down them, and then brutalize them by shattering their breakpoint and doing it all over again. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for us today. I hope you guys have enjoyed yourselves and everything you've seen here. We will be back tomorrow with yet more Kotama and Academy Citadel. Yeah, I know the title's a little strange. It's supposed... you would assume it would be Kotama and the Academy Citadel. Maybe I'm wrong. And there's a the in there somewhere that I didn't see. It's entirely possible. I would not blame me. And so, with all that said, we will see you next time.